Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of Saturn. Transiting Saturn is in opposition to natal Venus. How transiting Saturn will behave in opposition to natal Venus depends on the position of natal Venus. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect to your natal Venus. But the basics are as follows. This is a time of great tension in your partner relationships, which are usually triggered by changes in your partner's attitude or life circumstances. Tensions and difficulties are almost inevitable at this time. You are fighting hard to get respect and love from people who will not reciprocate it now. Therefore, it is best to make a self-assessment in partnership relations, all court processes and issues that are taking place. Limitations and challenges that encourage introspection will be both profound and challenging, as you feel a strong need to re-examine your relationships with other people. You will tend to analyze every detail in your interactions. In this period, a turning point appears in certain relationships, especially in those that lack real substance. Whatever flaws exist are now exposed, and the weaker the bond, the more vulnerable it is to separation. If your partner demands that you change past behavior or old habits, you will understand the reality of your partner relationships and the feeling of a certain tension that prevents you from opening up to others. If there are certain areas that have been neglected in your partnership, they are now starting to bother you. For example, if you have been inconsiderate, domineering or oblivious to the needs of the other person, you will find that your partner is completely tired of inviting you to cooperate, and a sense of alienation in the relationship slowly develops. The more you try, the more likely the relationship will slip away. In the end, you realize that the relationship never existed, and that realization hurts a lot. With certain positions of Venus, tensions and difficulties will manifest as conflicts before the separation, and a general feeling of distance between the partners will follow later. This transit challenges the way individuals perceive and approach one-on-one relationships, prompting them to re-evaluate their expectations and obligations. Saturn, known for its association with discipline, limitations, and responsibilities, stands in stark contrast to Venus's qualities of love, beauty, harmony, relationships, and process. Therefore, this transit in most cases brings a period in which life relationship and harmony with the other party seems to be more difficult to achieve or maintain. As we have already stated, this period represents a turning point in relationships, when problems that have been ignored seem to surface and that, whether you like it or not, you simply have to deal with. This is especially difficult in partner relationships because of the view from the other side and the lack of understanding of what is happening. When those problems you face make you withdraw from people, because maybe you prefer to be alone than to be unhappy with others. What follows is a reality check that brings the focus back to the real basis of every partnership. Those who are strong will become stronger, although the transit itself will require you to study well all the vulnerabilities in order to be able to get rid of them. Although this is difficult for you to deal with, you would be wise to seriously consider your relationship and wait patiently for the basic truth about the partnership to come out. While waiting, you will realize that it is necessary to invest more time in giving and helping the other person, and not just enjoying the other person's company. So you will try to restructure your slipping partnership. You probably doubted it for a long time and went through the motions and emotions because you were hoping for a different ending. In other words, you initially agreed to settle on terms that you knew were false or unsafe. So relationships are under stress because emotional bonds are being tested for their durability and authenticity. Individuals will experience feelings of loneliness or inadequacy within romantic relationships or social interactions. There is a great need for balance in your relationships and both parties must be responsible, and if you gave more than your partner, you will demand that they pull their weight. If you have not adequately handled your responsibilities, your partner may become more critical and demanding, and if the partnership no longer works, you will probably end it. People who are alone and looking for company, because under this influence they are lonelier than usual, will hardly get close to anyone in these difficult circumstances. Even when it involves commitments, since almost any relationship that is established now that lasts, will have certain responsibilities that you share. However, this transit tends to balance the bills with love, romance, and almost every other type of relationship. You want more than the real deal. The key is to remember that this starts with you authentically clarifying and stating your own needs. If there is a lack of affection, because others are not responding to what you want, it will create the possibility for disagreements, for deep inner reflection. Individuals will even question their own display value. Either way, this transit encourages a re-examination of personal priorities and a shift towards a more mature and responsible way of thinking. This is a difficult process of re-evaluation and you probably won't have a lot of fun, but the balance you achieve will make your future relationships more fulfilling. If you are commencing legal proceedings with this transit, you should carefully approach any documentation currently under consideration as their effects are usually permanent and may prove restrictive. Being judicious in the process is a necessary condition for this time, but avoiding commitment out of fear will cause you to lose the opportunity. This lesson will balance process status with time requirements so you can put everything into proper perspective. The relationship with a lawyer, if you have one, must be very meticulous. He may also be under pressure in a similar way, but act in a different way towards you. The case itself will certainly bring greater difficulties as old habits are realized and you did not manage the things that are part of the process in a responsible way. Individuals will experience losses or failures. Either way, the influence encourages maturation in the areas ruled by Venus, encouraging the need to build lasting structures instead of fleeting pleasures. While undoubtedly demanding, this transit carries the potential for significant growth through facing reality checks that ultimately stabilize aspects of life. Then you will feel what others do for you as a bonus.